Zimbabweans are making their way to the polls today in what is expected to be a closely watched presidential and legislative election. The opposition, traditionally stronger in urban areas, is hoping to ride a wave of discontent amid the country's economic troubles, high inflation, unemployment, including the widespread poverty. Now, many Zimbabweans hoping that this election will bring some change. Let's get some perspective now, and we speak to Audrey Chimwanda, who is live for us in Zimbabwe. Audrey, good morning to you. I understand that the President, Emmerson Mnangagwa's constituency, expected to cast the vote where you are. This is in Norton, somewhat in Harare. Locate yourself for us.
So we are in Norton, really. That's about 40 kilometers away from the Harare CBD, and the President's constituency is actually in Kwekwe. That's about 2.5 hours away from where we are. We understand that the President's family has already cast their ballots. That's his children and his wife. We understand he'll be casting his ballot any time from now. However, we are in Norton at the moment, one of the peri-urban areas here in Mashonaland region. I want to go back to a question you asked me yesterday about the issue about the voters' roll and all the litigation that has been around it. Every polling station that you come to, such as the one that we're at here, comes with this list of the number of people that are expected to come and vote here. We will not zoom in too close as there's personal information of voters here, but you get their forenames, their surnames, their ID numbers, gender, date of birth, and voter's address. Now, this has been a point of contention for the opposition party, Triple C, particularly after the delimitation exercise that was conducted by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. We spoke to some voters here, which we will still do, to try and understand if they're happy with what happened here. They don't seem to have a problem with it, but we'll try and get a sense from them with regards to how they are feeling this morning. I'm sure you can get a sense of calm as I'm talking to you now. It's a very peaceful morning here in Harare. Well, outside of Harare. I'll get one of the gentlemen to speak to me. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
How are you feeling about voting today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Are you confident that you'll get a positive outcome from this?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Well, all the best with that. Good morning, sir. How are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm ecstatic about this. I'm ecstatic, yeah.
Are you surprised that it's so quiet and so peaceful? I know this hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, today I'm very much surprised. I thought we were going to have so many voters, but the queue is very short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for speaking to us. I want to give you a bit of an overview of what a polling station in Zimbabwe looks like when there's general elections. We spoke to the presiding officer from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, and she has given us permission to come and just give you, our viewers, a look at what happens. When you come in, to your left, you get polling officers that are also overseeing this process. They are not allowed to speak to us as the media, but they're just here to observe. Already people are voting, just as this lady is doing. Of course, we'll give her her privacy and not zoom too much into that. Further along, there are the ballot boxes that are on the floor. Okay, my colleague Richard is still showing you what the polling officers here are doing. Quite a bit of a vigorous verification process to make sure that the integrity of this process is maintained and there are no double voters. Going further along, we take a look at the ballot boxes. This is where people, after going through the verification process, they get to cast their ballots here. I'll remind you, it's a harmonized elections, 3-tiered poll that is happening this morning. The presidential poll, members of parliament, and a local council representative. What makes this particular constituency special is it is the only constituency in Zimbabwe that is run by an independent candidate as far as the member of parliament is concerned. And of course is trying to retain that position. Is up against a CCC member who's been also campaigning quite vigorously here, hoping to take that seat away from him. Behind my colleague Richard here is the voting stations. Of course, there's quite a bit of privacy that is expected from the people that come and vote here, and we see people coming in and out. I'm sure that's all we can show for now. So there you have it, Kholi. That is what is happening here in Norton.
Wow, thank you very much, Audrey Chimwanda, our correspondent in Zimbabwe there. Very, very detailed update as to exactly what the situation is on the ground. Very interesting remark from one of the people who are hoping to cast their vote that the line is very short.